Yep, we're good. Is this thing on? The green light? Green light's on. Hello YouTube, hello to you my loves. How are you doing? Happy 2024, 2020 more. I really have been pondering around with what my word of the year is gonna be, and it's really feeling like abundance is my word. I think I've had this word before, and that's why part of me doesn't want to use it, but this year it just feels so right. In fact, it feels like a breakthrough to abundance. It feels like I am breaking out of a shell and stepping into the abundance that my heart so desires and was destined to experience in this lifetime. So today's video is gonna be a bit of a catch up. I have not posted a video updating you guys about my life in a long time. And in fact, the last time I was posting content on YouTube, I still had a job. I still had a 9 to 5, and now my life looks completely different. And I think more than anything, this is gonna be a bit of a reflection for me, because sometimes when you're in it, you just don't realize how good it is, you know? And I feel like I have not stepped out. I have not looked at my life and how things are currently set up and how that's all because of me. Like I did that, me. Let's dive into today's video. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by and being curious enough to click that thumbnail. I hope you stick around and I hope you subscribe. To all my returning subbies, I love you. You guys are just the best. I just forgot how juicy it was to create for this community and how supportive everyone is here. Like, I love it on the Red app. Love it, love it, love it, love it here. Like I mentioned, this is an update video. So let's get into it. So what have things been looking like since I last created? I quit my job. If you follow my podcast, I have a podcast, by the way. Follow my podcast, which is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'm going to put a thingy here so that you can just search it. Then you would know that I had quit my job. I quit my job in 2021 after pondering about it for like a year, right? I took the year of COVID. 2020 was the year I actually wanted to leave my job. And then when I saw like where things were heading, I was like, you know what, maybe job security is really like the best thing to choose in this particular moment. Because I'm sure I wasn't the only one who felt like COVID was just never gonna end. Like this was gonna be how we live forever. Things are gonna be closed. Like, you know, we're not gonna be able to roam around whenever we want to. And now it's crazy to think that like years later, we're all just like back to normal, sneezing on each other, not washing our hands. It's terrible. Terrible. Wash your hands, people. And like sneeze into your elbow. Like, I hope that COVID taught us some things about like general hygiene, especially when living with other people or when going to other places. Like, wash your hands. So I was thinking about quitting my job in the year 2020. And then I decided not to. I took the year 2020 to plan, to dream, to manifest, if you will. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was just really being intentional about like where I wanted to go next. I didn't really have a plan, actually. Let me not lie to you guys. Plan, like, what's that? I'm kidding. I just had a general idea. This is me being honest. I had a general idea of where I wanted to go and what I wanted my life to look like. And the type of manifester that I am very non-specific. I don't focus on the details. It's not something that gets me going, like, oh, it's gonna be this and this and this. I focus on the general feeling of how I wanted to feel, what I wanted to kind of look like. That's the kind of manifester that I am. And if you don't know, if it's your first time hearing about non-specific or specific manifestors, then my friend, let me plug you real quick. Wait, let me hold on to that plug because it's not gonna make sense with my story if I tell it now. So I'm gonna plug you towards the end of this video. Keep watching. So I had a general idea of where I wanted to go, non-specific manifester, right? So I quit my job. I said that now like a good 10 times. If this was a drinking game, one of y'all would be drunk. So I went into the office, told my boss at the time, like, listen, this is my notice. And I had to serve a 2-month notice period. So I gave him the notice, and immediately he was so taken aback. He was like, "You're what? You're going where? You're doing what?" Like, he completely did not expect it. So I kind of knocked his socks off there a little bit. Everybody in the office didn't expect it because I was very good at doing my job. You know what I mean? Like smiling, doing what I needed to do, getting stuff done. But deep down, I was not happy. And that's a lot. That goes to say there's a lot of us who are walking around our lives living like that. Like deep down, you know you are supposed to be doing something else. You're not fully happy. You're in a toxic environment. Like you don't feel appreciated. Your work and efforts are not championed. You're just blamed for things that you had nothing to do with. And it was really starting to get to me. And I was like, listen, I spend so much time at work. We spend so much time at work. We've got to enjoy what we do as work. It can't just be a means to an end. At least that's how I decided I wanted to live my life. I didn't want to be at a job that just feels like I just need to do this because I need to survive. If I don't work, I don't eat, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, breaking out of this matrix, I'm quitting my job. Like terrified as heck. Guys, I was scared. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I was not going to be receiving that little bing at the end of the month telling me that, woohoo, you got money now, girl. Like everything was on me. My tax, my debit orders, my medical aid. Thank God I got married. Like not in that way, but like thank God I was already with a partner. I was in a committed relationship, and he was like, quit your job, girl. You'll come on my medical aid. He's been very supportive, an angel sent from the heavens. So I got into his medical aid. So that was one of the things that I was like, I need to have this sorted because listen here, I don't want to like need a doctor and now I'm paying out of pocket. So once that was sorted for me, it was like, great. I gave in my notice, and it took me another month because I remember I served 2 months notice. It took me another month to tell my parents that I had quit my job. I was terrified. Now it was like, damn, I overcame so much to just get to that point where I was like, okay, everybody knows now this is happening. Let me serve my notice period. So I told my parents, and my mom asked me the exact same question. What about your medical aid? And I was like, Mommy, don't worry. I've got it sorted. Abbott's got me on his medical aid. And then it was like, okay, because I had already told them at work. Now I was just telling my parents like, oh yeah, this is happening. Because I had actually spoken to them about it in 2019 December. I had brought it up and told my parents like, I'm thinking about doing this. And they were like, no, girl, in this economy, what you doing? Are you crazy? Where you going? Where are the clients coming from? What? Like all sorts of stuff. That really made me want to just run and hide back to my desk job. Like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm sure somebody listening out there can relate with this and like can understand the agony internally that you go through when you're making this kind of decision. You're like, oh yeah, oh no, oh yeah, oh no, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh no. Like it's just a constant battle. And that's how I was living for like those 2 months and then the months after that. So now I had served my notice period. It came to an end, and it was time for me to start training clients. I had already had about 3-4 clients that I would train after work. So I told them, hey ladies, I'm going full time, like what's good. And then I went on to social media as well, told people I'm full time now, let's work together. Thankfully, my work speaks for itself. Most of my clients who train with me have a pleasant experience. They love training with me. They love my energy. I genuinely care about them and their mental, physical, emotional, spiritual well-being. Like I care about them as a whole entire person. And I think they feel that. So I got a lot of referrals, which has been amazing. My entire personal training business has been maintained off referrals of, oh, I told my friend, or oh, can my friend come? And that's how it's been working for myself personally and for my business, Sweat Fitness. A lot of referrals. People just enjoy the experience. They enjoy our energy. We genuinely care. And I always just say, care about people and like the rest will take care of itself. If you have any other intention, people will feel that. People will feel that energy off you. So thank God I actually care. And it wasn't something I had to work on. So that's been my life now. I've been training clients personally. And when I started that, I immediately began to see, because my clients, they come to me and talk to me. It's like, if you're a personal trainer, you know, you're like personal trainer / therapist. So often I would have clients coming to me and they're telling me, because I also ask, how are you doing? How's the family? How's the kids? Like, I pay attention and I ask questions that are also specific to a person's life. So I began to see that there's some things here that my clients are struggling with that I don't currently possess the tools to help them with. But I really want to. I really want to help them figure out this mental thing, this spiritual thing, this emotional thing that they're going through, this whatever it is, this relationship thing, this career block, whatever it is. Like, I was so inspired to help them move through that as well. And through my own journey, through my own personal growth, because once I had quit my job, I had all this free time. In between, like while I was building up my roster, I had a lot of free time and I would spend it listening to podcasts, reading books, and just diving back into the world of manifestation. I just so happened to get referred to a client who was a manifestation coach, Nicole. Shout out to Nicole, because Nicole really, she's one of the people who was a, what do they call them? An amplifier? What is it? There's a word. In my life, she came and she showed me what could be possible, because she was a manifestation coach, moved back from Germany, was living in Berlin and just enjoying her life, doing this online coaching business, met the man of her dreams. Like, they're getting married, they're married. Like, now it was time for her to just live her life and enjoy what she's doing. And she's built her clientele to be based in Europe. So she's operating in a completely different market, but she lives here, which is what you can do when you have such a job, like an online job. Are you kidding me? That's my life. If you know me, you know I love technology. I'm a tech buff, tech geek. I love online stuff. I love the internet. I used to spend all day on the internet when I was a kid, and not much has changed. Now, as an adult, I just try and, do other stuff as well, because productivity. So when I met Nicole and I saw what Nicole was doing in her job, I was like, oh my goodness, I want that. And we get to meet and see people like that in our lives, and we get to be inspired to a point where we're like, I want that too. It's not a thing of like you're copying them. Like, what the heck? That doesn't even make sense. I used to tell myself that, like, oh no, if I want that thing too, then like, am I copying them? No, you're not copying them. This only connected and resonated with you because it's also something that you desire. It's also something that you have the potential to create in your life. So I allowed myself to just also go for it. She actually gifted me one of the most grandest manifestation programs there are out there on the market. And I went through that entire program. It was like 20 modules long. And I just began to apply, learn, share what I was learning. And when it comes to this manifestation work, there's like this integration period. I don't want to say this is a blanket statement for everybody. Heck, for some people, you might come across manifestation, learn the principles, and have little to no blocks, and then just be able to manifest whatever it is that you want in your life. For me, there were a lot of things to work through. Generational money, like blocks, generational trauma about careers, about life, about how things should be looking like, all these expectations from society, from family, that I had to like move through. It's like a lot of gunk that was keeping me from actually believing that this kind of business could work for somebody like me. Somebody who looked like me, right? Black, brown girl in Namibia doing this kind of work. So for me, it was a lot of stuff that I had to move through and overcome, but I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I stuck to it, because deep down in my heart of hearts, I just felt like this is something that was for me, because I had always wanted to be a teacher. Always. I always used to pretend to teach kids when I was studying for my exams or tests. Like, pretend I'm in a classroom and I'll be like, yes, yes, yes. I'd write things on the board. Yeah, I was that kid. So a part of me always wanted to be a teacher. So this type of work that I do now allows me to get to be a teacher, which is really, really cool. One second. My husband's at the door. He does that sometimes. Come by in the middle of the day. This is for food. So yeah, there was a lot of belief work that I had to do, a lot of limiting beliefs work that I continue to do. as I am calibrating my entire body, my emotions, my words, my thoughts to this frequency of abundance, and abundance in every essence of that word. Something's gone there. Okay, Sir was inspired to change our bulbs. So he needed to come and get the bulb so he could see what type to go by. So yeah, I had to do a lot of work to just work myself up to doing this stuff. And luckily I'm that kind of person who, even if something scares me, I go for it. I don't know where that has come from, but I'm so glad that I've developed that muscle, because the scarier, the grander, like the more oh fuck I feel, the more I'm like, yeah, I need to do this thing. So now my life consists of me incorporating that work of manifestation, mindset, limiting beliefs, subconscious mind power, healing inner child, integrating your ego, all of these different aspects of you and parts of you that make you whole, that are sometimes often left unintegrated, or unintegrated with who your full expression of who you are is. That's what I like to incorporate into my coaching programs, which I host online and in person, mostly online. And then I also offer yoga sessions. I also do energy healing sessions, either in person or distance via online. So it's been really fun, like just creating this thing, this life, this career, this business out of just my desire to really like help people. At the core of it, that's what it comes down to. So I've over time gotten myself certified as an energy healer, for breath work, for meditation, for yoga, so that I can really bring these modalities into my offerings and into my teachings and conversations that I have with my clients, and really help them shift, right? Shift from a place that they don't want to be to the place that they are hoping to be, or a step closer in that direction. So I absolutely love what my life looks like now. Sometimes I have to remind myself when I'm feeling a bit like, oh, I'm tired. Like last year, towards the end of last year, I had to tell myself, girl, you designed this life. You better not get tired of it. Like if there's something you don't like here, change it. Like I had to remind myself that just because this is how things I've set them up now, it doesn't mean I have to stick to this forever. Like that's the beauty and the freedom of working for yourself, of doing this kind of work that's a hybrid of online and in person. Like you set the terms. It took me a long time for me to realize that I was the boss of me. I was like, oh wait, I don't have to do something unless I like tell myself I have to do it. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody else that I have to answer to but me. So it's come with a lot of discipline that I've had to put in place, a lot more desire to grow and to take up more space, to share more, to leave more impact. So that's what this year is for. This year is for creating more impact, experiencing an overflow of abundance, getting closer to the most authentic version of myself, living as her on a daily basis, like, and just helping people also draw closer to who they authentically are, what they want to do, the impact that they want to leave. I truly believe that each of us here, if we're living out our purposes, along with the 9 to 5, I'm not saying quit your job, okay? That's not the message here. That's just what I needed to do. But if you desire to have both, you can. If you desire to do the 9 to 5 full time and do it at your best, your highest capacity, you can. Like that can be you, and you can excel, and you can get all the promotions and make all the money, like do all the things. We are all meant to thrive in our purposes uniquely and individually. So the way it looks like for me is not me saying this is how it should look like for you. So please don't watch this video and feel like, oh my God, I wish. No, that's the worst thing you can do. Look at your own life and see what you can do for yourself to make it more rich, make it more abundant. Rich, not in the money sense, okay? When I talk about these words, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about like your quality of life in your mind, your emotions, your thoughts, your relationships. Like, what is that? Are those rich? Are they fulfilling? Do they give back to you? Do you feel supported and richly grounded in these things, or is it just chaotic? So you can create the life that you desire to live. It's something that is absolutely within all of our potentials to reach, to tap into, to experience on a day-to-day basis. And that is the core message of today's video. So now let me plug y'all before I forget. So as a part of my online coaching business, I host this annual New Year Goal Manifesting Bootcamp titled the Abundance Bootcamp. So during this bootcamp, which takes place over the course of 5 days, mi amigas, 5 days live. I go live on all of these 5 days for an hour, and I share a teaching that is going to help you basically shed the skin, learn the lessons, take what you need from 2023 and step into 2024 really, really aligned, really focused, really clear on what it is that you're creating, right? Cut the confusion, cut the cameras. So many years have passed by that I have avoided creating a vision board. I have avoided looking at my life and like really getting clear on what I want, because often we're taught this messaging, we're given this messaging that we can't have what we desire. We're like, this is the conditioning we grow up with. And it's not true. We can absolutely have what we desire and then some. I think it's so important that all of us experience this knowledge, learn this knowledge, put it into practice, like give it a try, because this is the stuff, this is the core of the stuff that completely shifted my life, my mindset, and has helped me co-create this reality that I'm currently living. One where I set the rules, I make my schedule, I get to call in what I'm calling in, like I get to be an active co-creator, co-manifester in my life. And I put boundaries in place and I can honor them. I have the backbone to honor them. And I have done the work on myself to not want to people please anymore and not want to operate any less of a capacity than I am, to like dim my light so that somebody else could feel great. Like I've done that work, and it's so fulfilling to be at this place mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of the Elise. Like I am really, really a completely different person. This awakening started to gnaw at me when I was approaching 30. It was like, girl, wake up. My intuition was like, it's time for her to come online. Like she's been asleep for 30 years. And I genuinely feel like I am now awake. I am now fully awake and present in my life. And that is the gift, that is the purpose of me hosting a container like the Abundance Bootcamp. So it's 5 days live. On day one, we're going to be reflecting on 2023 and be creating energetic space, clearing that slate so that in 2024 you have the space, the capacity, energetically, emotionally, to handle whatever comes your way and to also create what you desire. So that's day one. On day two, we're going to be taking a deep dive into our minds. The most underrated tool that we all possess that can help us completely shift and change our lives is our minds. So I'm going to be taking you through discovering what your subconscious mind is, understanding how it is programmed and how it has been programmed already, and why some things that happen in your life are almost feel like a program. It's because they are being run by your subconscious mind. So understanding that part of you and learning how to communicate with that part of you is absolutely game changing. On day three, I'm going to take you through two of my practices that I use to help keep my energy clear and to help me process sticky emotions. And that is energy healing through Reiki. Some of you may have heard of Reiki. It's an ancient form of hands-on healing that basically works through the practitioner, the person who is channeling the energy, sharing that life force energy through to another person. It can be done via distance, online, or in person, where I would just sort of place my hands either over or on the client's body. So Reiki energy works to release stuck emotions, heal chronic diseases, help you get closer to your life purpose, help you clear a confused mind, help you release thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you. It's such a powerful modality that I've seen for myself just do absolute wonders, as well as for my clients. Then I'm also going to be taking you through a meditation, because I recently attended my Vipassana meditation retreat, and there's a video up on that. Go check it out if you haven't. There'll also be more in the series coming. Because meditation for me, and the way that it was taught at the retreat, was so simple, and it was such an easy technique to apply into your day-to-day life, and for you to understand how you can apply it to your day-to-day life to help you stay grounded and stay equanimous throughout all of the things that are happening, right? You just kind of stay neutral, you don't react. So it's been so powerful for me, and I would love to share that with you as an offering. And I say an offering because some of these tools, some of these modalities, they may not relate or resonate with you at all. But one thing that I have said, and I will continue to say, is that you just give it a try. You give it a try and you see for yourself, and then you make an informed decision. Then on day 4, I'm gonna be running you through some tips that you can use to help you build a very potent vision board. We're not just gonna be slabbering pictures onto a board that we have no relation, no connection to, and just hoping for the best, okay? We're gonna be very intentional with how we're creating our vision board, and the tips that I share with you on day 4 are gonna help you create a very potent board on day 5. So day 5 will be the day that we get together as a collective, as a community, and we create our vision boards. So this is the day that I need you to come through with your materials, your board, your glue, your scissors, all of the pictures that you've printed out from Pinterest, cut out from magazines, whatever it is, bring them all together. And then on day 5, we're gonna have a moment, about 30 to 35 minutes, to sit together and to bring our vision boards together, to bring them to life. So that's gonna be a really juicy experience. Bring your favorite beverage for day 5 and get ready to just chill and relax. I'll put on some tunes for us, and we just co-create in this energy of abundance and intention that we have created together over the previous days. And when you join the Abundance Bootcamp, you're gonna have access to the bootcamp content for the entire year. So that's to serve a purpose for you to be able to come back to the training modules, refresh yourself about the subconscious mind, refresh yourself about perhaps use some of the tools that I've shared with you, the custom meditation audios that I'm going to be creating for you. These are all things that you're going to have access to throughout the year to help you just realign, you know, just sort of service the mind, service the energy, service your entire body. Fun fact, when I do a Reiki healing session and it's recorded, the energy stays the same. The energy is locked in, it's potent. Whenever you come back and you want to lay down to experience that energy healing, you're going to receive what you need to receive from it. So that's a really cool thing that you're going to have access to for the entire year as a modality, as something to add to your toolkit to help you clear your energy and keep yourself focused and aligned with where you're going. So I'm so excited for this container. It's gonna be unlike any other Abundance Bootcamp that I've ever hosted before. This is the first time I'm sharing it with my YouTube family, so I'm hoping to see some of your faces in the Abundance Bootcamp this year. It's available for only 999 Namibian dollars, which translates to about 58 pound. I'm gonna leave the waitlist link in the description below, as well as a link to my podcast. I encourage you to check it out in its current iteration, because it's gonna be changing face. All right, I'm busy relaunching the podcast, and I'm actually gonna be bringing it over onto YouTube in a vodcast format. So I'm really excited to bring more of that content about manifestation, fitness, mindfulness, positive psychology, leadership, business, motherhood. You can expect a little bit of everything from my vodcast once it turns into that channel, once it relaunches. So 2020 more, we say. So I'm really excited for this year of abundance for me, and I look forward to co-creating a magical 2024 with you in the Abundance Bootcamp. Add your name to the wait list, and I cannot wait to see you inside there. All right, my loves, thank you so much for joining this video. I hope you enjoyed my catch up, And if you have any questions that came up from watching this video, leave them down in the comments below as well. I would love to hear from you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Catch you in the next one.